It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce Dr. Chaya Ostrower. Dr. Chaya Ostrower is a senior lecturer in psychology at the Beit Berel Academic College and a public speaker in Israel and abroad on psychology, humor, and the Holocaust. Chaya earned her doctorate in 2000 from Tel Aviv University with a dissertation on humor as a defense mechanism during the Holocaust. Chaya has published her research in books and numerous articles and has served as the academic consultant on 3 films for television. She also guides educational trips to Poland for students and has created e-learning curricula for the Holocaust comprising stamps, photographs, testimonies, and children's paintings. The Masur Institute for the Study of the Holocaust awarded Chaya its educational prize for outstanding projects. Chaya Ostrower's parents immigrated to Eretz Israel before World War II, but 6 of her mother's siblings and other relatives were murdered in Auschwitz. So Chaya, your book, it kept us alive. Humor in the Holocaust has been translated.
Humor as a defense mechanism in the Holocaust. I'm insisting on humor as a defense mechanism in the Holocaust.
What made you write this incredible book?
I knew that humor is the high in the hierarchy of defense mechanism. And the Jewish was famous with their humor. And in a very bad situation. In the east of Europe, we know all the gestures and all the litzanim, vabadchanim, that were really talking about their bad situation. So I thought maybe there was humor in the Holocaust. When first time I came to my tutor, he was astonished. He said no. Nobody believed that there was humor in the Holocaust. After many years, I returned with this subject to my tutor, Professor Ziv, and I said, no, of course, go on it. And then I go to Yad Vashem and ask all the professors in Yad Vashem, and they said there was no humor in the Holocaust. It's like לחפש מחט בערימת שחת. Please translate it. High stone in? לא חשוב. Later you will remember it. You will not find, if you find it so little that you will not can do a PhD from this. And I returned to my tutor and he said, what do you think? I said, I'm sure there was humor in the Holocaust. And he said, okay, so began to research it. Because humor is a defense mechanism in stress situations. And there was no trauma like the Holocaust. As a stressful situation, it must be humor there. I was sure there will be. So I began to research it. I was a leader for a death camp of youth from Israel to the youth camp. And I met there one guy, and he was talking with a lot of humor about his experience in the Holocaust. And he was my first interviewer. At the beginning, I was not sure that there really was humor there. But after a while, everybody said, of course there was humor. People that tell you there was not humor, they don't have sense of humor, not in the Holocaust, not before the Holocaust, and not after the Holocaust. People that had humor had it before the Holocaust, while the Holocaust, and after the Holocaust. And it was amazing research, because every time I met everybody from my interviewer tell my story to his friends. And I got telephone from those friends, come and interview me and we will tell you how humor saved our life. And I came and I heard the people's story, and I heard about humor in the Holocaust as phrases and utterances. I heard songs, I saw caricature, I heard about cabarets. It's a wonderful world full with pain. It was humor from pain, but humor gives you a perspective on your situation. What is the so important about humor? It does not deny the situation, but you can take a step ahead and look at yourself from outside. And when you're looking at yourself from outside, you give a actually perspective to the situation. Of course, if you had to kill, you killed. If you had to be murdered, you murdered. It does not save your life, but it saved your life while you was in the bad situation. It is a spiritual rebellion, if I can say it, because they want to make, as one Dr. Felicia Carai told me, they want to make robots from us, and the sense of humor guard our sanity, our humanity. We did not let them take our humanity. So this is what this book is all about.
And growing up, your parents, they came before the Shoah, before
Yes.
the World War II, before. But your mother's siblings were sent to Auschwitz. So
Most of them.
In your home, was there laughter? Was there humor in your home growing up?
In my home was a lot of laughter. My father was some kind of clown, I can say it. Even in my dedication for them, I said that my mother forced me to study and my father was the laugher one. But in my home was a nephew of my mother. She survived Auschwitz. And she was almost living with us. And she has a number on her arm. And when I asked my mother, what is this? She said, nobody is talking about it. Don't ask her. It's very, she passed very bad experience. Don't ask about it. And as a youngster, I didn't ask. Only when I grow up, she returned, by the way, to Germany and lived there. And I'm with a contact with her daughter until now, that she's living in Germany. But I asked nothing about it. And nobody was talking about it in our when I grown up and I became a leader of a group to Poland, only then I make an introduction with the Holocaust. I really doesn't know exactly what happens then. It was something vague. By the way, as most of the Israelis know about it, 6 million Jews was murdered and so on. And when I heard it at the first time, when I studied at the Yad Vashem to be the guide, only then I make introduce with this horrible situation. And when you are in horrible situation, you need something to guard your sanity. And humor is exactly what can keep your sanity. This is the only thing that keep you from going to defense and commit suicide. Because this is the only thing that keep you in life. You can see the life in perspective. As one woman said, Lily Rickman said, it was not me. What it's happened here, it's not me. It's for another one. I'm taking myself out from this situation. This is what humor can do. She said, for example, when they cut our hair in Auschwitz, they said, I never have a hairdo for free. So if you can look at such an horrible situation with sense of humor, you feel better. It doesn't change the situation. She became without her, they shave her and everything. But she said, I never get a hairdo for free. And if you can look at this unbelievable situation with humor, it's make your life much easier. And this is what humor is. The whole humor is make your life much easier. This is what is done.
So you were actually pioneering. Your work was before Life is Beautiful, before the other films were made.
Of course.
You were the pioneer in the subject.
Yes. When I came the first time to Yad Vashem and asking this question, they look at me as a weirdo. Nobody knows מאיפה החייזר הזה הגיע. They were really shocked. I heard it later, not at the same time, but later I said that in the first time that I came, all Yad Vashem was talking about it, it's something unbelievable. Yes, I was the pioneer, and even the Holocaust survivors, my interviewer said, you are the first person that asked about this thing. Nobody asked it before you, because we have a lot to tell about it. We have a lot of tell, but everybody asks about our miserable life. I came in the right time, as I can say it, because everybody was research all the bad situation, all the bad camps, about the extermination camps, about the ghettos, all the bad things. It was research already, but nobody, because by the way, all the research is by historianing, and I'm psychology, so it's another aspect.
From a different dimension.
Yes, so it's another aspect. I'm asking about mental perseverance, not about physical, what you've done, eat, not eat, hunger, not hunger. I don't ask about, I said, how do you feel? And I'm not talking about post-trauma. Even about post-trauma, everything that was bad was research. They did not research about how people preserves their soul in Auschwitz or in the...
And their sanity, how they preserve their sanity.
And how they preserve their sanity.
Hi, can I just ask, when you went to interview the survivors, were anyone offended by you even mentioning the subject? Was the humor?
The first time I go to interview, I was shaking. Really, I was nervous, I was frightened, I was tense. I took 3 tape recorders with me, but I go to this person that know me from the trip to Poland. So he knew I'm a serious person, I know about the Holocaust, and I'm not making laugh from the Holocaust. He knew this. This is why I can ask him, did you laugh in the Holocaust? I didn't spoke about humor at all. I asked him, did you laugh? And he was a psychiatrist. I didn't know that. I didn't remember that he was a psychiatrist. And he said, what a question. You don't know that humor is a defense mechanism? And since this sentence, everything flowing. But there was one guy, I knew him, by the way, before. But he doesn't know me. He knows me as a basketball player, but not as a researcher. And he was madly angry with me. He said, are you going to make laugh from the Holocaust? And I said, no, and the opposite. I want to see how much mental strength you have to laugh at such a horrible time. And he said, no, you could not convince me. I will help you whatever you like, but not with humor. Because you help the deniers of the Holocaust. Od me'at, everybody said that there was not Holocaust at all. You are talking about laughing in the Holocaust? Who's talking about laughing? And he said, I will help you whatever you like. I will not talk about laughter in the Holocaust. And I really hold my hand like this, and I said, this is what I was afraid of. That somebody said that I helped the deniers of the Holocaust. After 5 minutes, I got a phone call from one lady that I called her before this person, and she said, you can come to interview me. I remember so many jokes about it, like this. I remember so many jokes. Come and interview me. And she said the name of my book, It Kept Us Alive. This it kept us alive. This is from her interview. She said, humor kept us alive. And there is another thing. If you know how much they suffer there and they can laugh, it really kept their life. And they keep their insanity, of course.
And it made them must probably also feel like individuals.
Yes.
That they all had no hair, they just had numbers. But here they were like an individual. By them laughing, it showed that they were a person, they were somebody.
There is here a woman that said, I made fun only with those that want to laugh. And this is very important thing, because whenever you're sitting, even in a shiva, there are people that are sitting there and laughing. There are people sitting there and angry about the laughers. But while you are laughing in the shiva, you are not laughing on the dead. It is kind of release or relief, and you have to expand your stressful situation. This is kind of that you have to לשחרר,
to release.
To release your stress.
It's very true. I've been at shivas where people have remembered funny incidents, and the mourners, they smile, and you actually bring them, and it's a positive thing because they remember the good things, they remember the positive things.
Of course. So in the same shiva, there could be people that are offended and they can think wrongly. They are laughing at the dead. Of course not. Of course not. It's a release situation. So we have to laugh at the stressful situation. It may make easier to pass this situation. In this, what I argue with my tutor, I said, I'm sure they were laughing. You know, when I was interviewing the TV, in Israeli TV, I got so many phone calls from people that I did not interview them. I want to tell you a joke. I want to tell you a joke. I want to tell you a joke. And my book was published already, but I want to tell you a joke. And there was many jokes, but not the historians did not deal with this. Sorry, they don't deal with this. You cannot live in the other situation. And as one of the interviewers said, of course there was joke. We are people. We live there. And if you are living, you are laughing. There are jokes. Of course, there was another kind of joke. And not only, by the way, not only gallows jokes. There was jokes on food. There was jokes on sex. There were jokes, aggressive jokes. There was jokes, all kind of jokes. There were all kind of jokes. Not only for gallows humor. Everybody thinks it's only, no. The people were laughing about themselves as well, of course. How can you can live in other situations? As one lady said, I have two possibilities, to laugh or to cry. And I decided to laugh. This is all. Because people ask her, we are in so bad situation, and you have a מצב רוח.
You've got your
mood.
Your mood.
You have a mood for laughing? She said, no, I don't have a mood for laughing. I don't have a mood for laughing. I have two possibilities, to laugh or to cry, and I prefer to laugh. And this is the answer for this. The laughing did not mean that you are in a good situation.
Or you're not making light. You're not making light of the situation.
Of course not.
The opposite.
Of course not. One guy, by the way, said, those that we laugh, many times we were more miserable than those that cry. So I saw my father, who the Nazis taking his golden teeth from his mouth by punching him. And I was laughing, he said. What do you think? It doesn't hurt me? What do you think? But this was my way to deal with it. I saw it in my face, how they put in a grofim boxes in his mouth to take out the golden things. And he said, I stand there and laughing. He said, what do you think? It wasn't hurt? But I laughed because was my way to keep my insanity. Otherwise, I will go to the fence and committed suicide.
That's what you said. It was a defense mechanism.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a story where somebody was taken to the death and they were laughing, and the guard saw them and said, what are you doing? So they said, I have to line up to go to my own death.
Yes, this is in my, yes.
And they pulled him out, and, he survived.
This is in my story. Yes, this is in my book. Yes.
It's incredible. So it actually saved his life.
10 years old boy. 10 years old boy. Yes. Everybody around him was crying, and he began to laugh. And the SS man asked him, "Why are you laughing?" He's like, "You are taking me to the gas chamber, and I have to stand in line." Yes. It was a defense mechanism. It doesn't mean that if their life was happier. Not at all. Not at all. The phrase, I don't know if to laugh or to cry, exactly means what it meant. Because even though you are laughing, it doesn't mean that you are in a good situation. Not at all. You decided, because this is it's not decided because it's unconscious, to take it in humor. And not, by the way, humor and laughter, it's two different things. Because humor is really cognitive and laughter is physically, but I don't want to define it right now. But so humor, you have the cognitive and you have it's not, defense mechanism is something automatic that preserve you from a stressful situation. And it's an automatic mechanism. And one of the highest in hierarchy of the defense mechanism.
Like the hierarchy, yeah.
Because it does not deny the situation. Many of the defense mechanisms deny the situation. Here you are not denying. You see the situation, but you decided to see it from another perspective. As she said, they cut our hair, and I said, I never had hair for free. You see the situation, but you decided to see it from another situation.
From a different angle, a different perspective.
Right? And this is what is so amazing. And when I began this, and at the beginning I was really shaking, after interview one, and another one, and what was amazing, that those interviews, most of them said, this is the first time that we are talking about it. Nobody asked about it, and this is the first time that I'm talking about, but you have to understand that, of course, not all the interview was about the humor. Most of the interview was about their sad things, and it was very shocking and amazing, and I really was sure that it's correct to awake all these sad memories. And most of them were crying, and sometimes I was crying with them. It was very difficult.
And very emotional.
Very emotional and very difficult. I came with a tape recorder, I put it on the table, and asked only one question, and they were talking. It was, whenever I go out and I say, I'm very sorry that I remind you all these bad stories, and they said, no, thank you very much. You are making a mitzvah. You are not remind us anything. We are living in this situation all the time. You don't have to remind that. You are not evoking this situation. We are living this. But you make us to look it from another angle. And to talk about humor is something that we never was asking before. This is why it is so important for us to talk even about humor. And by the way, almost every one of them said, we came with sense of humor from home. We came with sense of humor from home. It's not, of course, it's not something they develop in the camps. All of them was in sense of humor, and by the way, they retain the sense of humor after the Holocaust. All of them. There were a few people that I called them and they said, I don't have sense of humor before the Holocaust, I don't have it in the Holocaust, and I don't have it today. But all my interviewers said, I have it before the Holocaust, I have it in the Holocaust, and I have it right now after the Holocaust. No one lose his sense of humor because of the Holocaust. This is really what nobody of them are going to is psychologists, because they really look at the things from, I don't say they suffer a lot, of course. They suffer a lot, of course, and they live with their memories, with their unbelievable memory.
Like
really,
nightmare memory.
I have a nightmare, by the way. I have a nightmares. While I was doing my PhD, I have a nightmares. After I heard their stories, I was dreaming that I'm going to the Kever Achim and they are shooting me and I enter into the gas chamber. Everything what they told me, it's almost that I identified with them.
You internalize it.
Yes, because I make interviews from 3 interviews at a week. So it was really, I was in a very stressful situation. But I think that it's really something that nobody heard about it before. And in the middle of my PhD, there was the Benini movie, and I go to Jerusalem to see it in the Cinematheque, and I said, I was afraid of my PhD, that if he's doing a movie about it, my PhD gone.
I think it was called Life is Beautiful.
Yes, and I go to see Life is Beautiful, I said, this is not about my movie, this is not, you cannot compare it to my book, this is story, and this is the reality. It's amazing. And you see, I didn't want to finish, by the way, I didn't want to finish my PhD. It was so interesting. When I begin, I think only about phrasing. And then I heard people are singing to me, singing humoristic songs that I never thought about it. There was cabaret in Auschwitz. Who knows about the cabaret in Auschwitz? Until now, when I'm giving a lecture to a youth, they said, we never heard about it. We didn't know there was songs, humorous songs, cabaret in Auschwitz, cabaret in the ghettos. Who knows about it? We only study all the time about the bad things, and I think it's correct. First of all, you have to study about the evil. Then you can from them to develop to the another life or another stage or whatever. Of course, first of all, you have to know what was the Holocaust, because until now, I'm not sure the people know what was the. Nobody, by the way, can know, because everybody experienced his own Holocaust. But first of all, you have to understand what happened then. Only then, and humor is not laughter. And you have to understand that humor is another thing. I'm not מתעקשת, insist that humor is a defense mechanism in the Holocaust, because it was not laughter. Nothing connected with the Holocaust was laughing. Nothing connected with the Holocaust was laughing. And only after we understand that, we can talk about humor in the Holocaust. Only after we understand that nothing connected with the Holocaust was funny, then we can talk about humor as a defense mechanism in the Holocaust. Otherwise, you cannot talk about it. And all the time they ask me about the jokes that the youngsters are doing in Israel. I really don't know what is my opinion about it. But I think that only if you experience those horrible things, you can joke about it. I think that person that did not pass these things or did not experience those things maybe if this mekarev and close the use to the Holocaust,
it will connect them
to the Holocaust, I will accept it. If after he's making joke about the Holocaust, he's going to read what is the Holocaust, I think okay. But if he's just making jokes about the Holocaust and not reading on the Holocaust, I have a problem with this.
And let me just ask you, what about people that make serious jokes about the Holocaust in a derogatory way or in a very bad way, minimizing the Shoah, the Holocaust?
Of course I'm against it.
Yeah.
Of course I'm
because
against
that's actually exceptionally negative. It's an exceptionally...
even in Israel, when you say you were somebody nervous and you call for the soldiers Nazi or something like this, I became furious.
Comparing, it minimizes and it takes away.
Because if you're using...
It diminishes the...
If you're using these words, you know nothing about the Holocaust.
Of
course.
It diminishes what the Holocaust was.
Of course. If you're using these words, you know nothing about the Holocaust. When I tell this cousin in Germany that some kids called the soldiers, she opened it, she said, what? How can they?
Yeah.
How can they? Because really, if you're doing it, you know nothing about the Holocaust. You know nothing about the Holocaust. Otherwise, you cannot put these words in your mouth to a
it's
Jewish.
So true. It's so
even
true.
though they angry about the soldiers and whatever.
Or the police. Sometimes they call the police.
Yeah.
And it's so wrong. It's so wrong.
Legamri.
And can I just ask, growing up, your mother came from Poland. Did she discuss with you when you were growing up about her life in Poland and her family?
When I told her that I want to go to Poland with the youth delegation, as a leader of the youth delegation, she was against it.
She was against it?
Yes, she said, what are you searching in this anti-Semitism country? What are you going there? She suffered a lot from anti-Semitism in Poland, in a school, and she hated it. And she said, you have nothing to search there. Don't go. We have a lot of argue about it. She doesn't want me to go.
Did she tell you where she came from in Poland?
Yes, I go to see her house, of course.
Where did she come from?
She lived in Krakow. She lived in Krakow. My father was born in Lviv. And I go to see her house. And it was really very, very poor house. They live very poorly there. She has no nostalgia at all to Poland.
But she allowed you to go eventually?
Well, I was grown up.
and Chaya, what sparked your interest? What ignited your interest into go into study and to do your PhD on the Shoah?
It's a good question. When the first time I came to the concentration camp, in the course of the leader of the guide for I stood on the leg at Auschwitz and I asked myself, which of the defense mechanism you would use if you were a victim in the Holocaust? Because I come from psychological, and I ask, which of the defense mechanism would you use if you have to be here? Because I know that everybody, all of us, by the way, use defense mechanism all the time. So I was thinking about humor. Because my tutor used research humor at the same time. And I asked myself, is it possible that the Holocaust survivors use humor as a defense mechanism? And as I returned to him, he said, no, I don't want to hear about it. Only after his death, I was talking with his wife, and I didn't know it before. He was a Holocaust survivor by himself. And when he heard that I want to do a humor as a defense mechanism, he didn't want to hear about humor. When I show him my steps, I had a website with stamps, and I show him, he said, Shoah, Holocaust again, Holocaust again. And I said to myself, what happened to this guy? Why he doesn't want to hear about the Holocaust? After his death, she said, your PhD is the one that he is proud of. Really, he doesn't, at the beginning, he doesn't want to hear about the Holocaust. The past few years, and he said, I said, no, of course, why not? But he has, not only him, by the way, all the Israeli people has to pass few years until we can deal with this kind of aspects of the Shoah. As I said before, at the beginning, we have to deal with the mivne, the construct of the concentration camps, all the details of the concentration camps, and so on. Only after we research it, we can deal with other aspects. Now they begin to research the women's in the Holocaust. The gender is different in the Holocaust. Now they begin to research another aspects. But at the beginning, only the historian deals with the Shoah. Now even the psychological, the arts people, the research about art was not at the beginning. Now they really research the art in the Holocaust. So it evaluates all this research of the Holocaust.
Evolved
yes.
and look what's happening now. Art in the Holocaust has become a very big subject.
Nachon.
And what you're pioneering in humor as a defense mechanism. So there've been more than one movie about humor, and people have, in a way, that's their connection.
Exposed to this.
And they've been exposed.
Yes, exposed to it. But I have a Professor Barnbaum said that my book can divide it for 4 books. Books about the humor theories, about the caricature, about the cabarets, and he said he's envy and angry that he did not write this book. Because now you really have lots of people that are talking about every one of these subjects. About humor, theories of humor, it's another subject. In cabarets in the Holocaust, nobody was dealing with it before. And out of the Holocaust, there were sporadic research, but not everything. And all of these are connected to my interviewer, because my interviewer is, if I can say my interviewer, when I came to interview them, they began to sing. This is how I came to songs in the Holocaust. And they showed me their caricature. This is how I came to the caricature. And they were talking with me about the cabaret. Some of them were acting in these cabarets. At the beginning, I was talking only about phrases and utterances in the Holocaust. I didn't know about humoristic songs or humoristic cabaret or humoristic caricature. I didn't know. I know nothing about it. This was so amazing in this research. I didn't want to finish it. My professor said, Chaya, please finish it. Please finish. And all the time, even after I finished, and I gave it to the university, to the judgment, I still continue searching for material. And by the way, there is material in the English book which is not in the Hebrew book, because I still continue searching for it. It was amazing. It was. I want to show this face of Hitler.
Yeah.
this caricature that when I found it, I was amazing. I like it so much. And look at my room.
I'm going to zoom in.
You think?
Yeah, you showed it to me, and it's something unbelievable. I'm going to just zoom in. Okay. It's
You want me to explain it?
Please, if you could, because it's
Yes.
something
You can see.
extraordinary.
You can see Hitler's face here.
Yeah.
His mustache. His head. When I found it the first time, nobody knows about it, nothing. Not the name of the painter, not where it came from. And I found it only after the Hebrew book was published. I still continue looking for materials because I really like it very much. It is amazing research.
Incredible. And Chaya, I just want to mention, your interviews that you did, it was also in a way pioneering, because a lot of Holocaust survivors, nobody really even asked or wanted to know their stories. And by you coming to the Holocaust survivors and them speaking, it's also a healing process for a lot of the survivors.
This is exactly what they told me. Nobody wants to hear our story. This is exactly what they told me. And you know how they came, how do I came to them? And the first time I came to this person that I was a campaign in the youth delegation to Poland. And then I get names from one to his friend, from one to his friend, from one, and I get phone calls, come to interview us.
And were you the first that had ever come to interview many of the interviewers?
Yes, they said, most of them, this is the first time that I'm talking with somebody that did not pass the Holocaust by himself. Usually I'm talking only with my friends. This is the first time that I'm talking not with my friends. This is the first time that somebody wants to listen to us. Nobody wants to listen to us. Even though the children, even though they're children. And I asked him, why you didn't talk with your children? He said, I want to לחסוך מהם. How you say לחסוך?
It's. I hear what you're saying. It's like they want
I don't want to tell them, to bother them with.
You don't want to burden. You don't want to burden.
Yes.
To burden them.
Yes. I don't want to burden them. So this is the first time that I'm talking. And many of them told me, please come again. I don't want to talk not only about humor, I want to tell you my story. Because this is my last times, and I want that somebody will know about it. When I asked them about if I can use their names, and they said, of course use it. I'm the only one that survived from my whole family. Please use my name.
And you kept a connection with a lot of the people that you interviewed?
Not with all of them, but with some of them, yes. Yes, first of all, I go to give them my book in Hebrew. And after that, I was with connection with few of them.
And I'm sure the response must have been very special.
Yes. Yes, because I came not as a only researcher. I said that it really was a very good connection because I really interested in their story, not only.
It was genuine. It was
yes.
A genuine.
Yes, genuinely interested, not only for my PhD, and because I told them that I make a website on humor using stamps, and they really interested, not only for my PhD, and they feel it. This is the reason, by the way, that I was interviewed by myself, the whole 55 interviewer.
You did everything yourself?
I did everything by myself because I was afraid, really. I was afraid that someone could think that I'm making fun from the Holocaust. And I want to be sure that they understand that what I want is to stress their strengths. their strength to use humor in such dreadful situation. Because not everyone can use humor in such situation.
Hi, I'm going to ask you a difficult question.
Okay.
In your interviews or in your interaction with the survivors, did any speak about when they came here or when they went to America, wherever they went, after the Shoah, after the Holocaust, that sometimes people made fun of the survivors? And did any of them encounter that?
No.
Because unfortunately it has been documented where people would speak about soap and they made a bit of fun of after the Shoah. Which is very hurtful. It can be extremely
when
hurtful.
I was interviewing the Israeli television, the interviewer asked me about jokes like, there is an Hebrew joke, two children are fighting, and one is throwing a soap on the other one, and the other one say, please don't involve parents in this fighting. This is some kind of joke that was in the Israeli mentality. This is not humor that I'm talking about. And this is what I tell you before. I'm not sure what is my opinion about such jokes, because I'm not sure that people that are talking about soap know what is the meaning of it. Because in the Holocaust there was a rumor. It does not, they don't know it's correctly if it is or not, but there was a rumor that the Nazis are making soap from the skin and the fat of the Jewish people. So I'm not sure the people that are talking about soap know what it means. This is my problem. I'm not against jokes. I'm against that they don't know what does it means. This is my problem. They did not tell me. When the Holocaust survivors came to Israel, of course everybody said sabonim v'sabonim.
Which means sabonim, it's soap. It's
soaps.
Yeah.
Because we as a children called them soaps. But you know, there was, I don't know where it came from, but I think it was some kind of, I don't know, that we think that only the people that survive are not the nicest people.
Yeah.
This was true about what I think. But none of my interviewers was talking about it.
And the university, Tel Aviv University, were they very supportive of you?
My tutor was supportive. It's enough. I needed a supportive tutor. Tel Aviv University got it. It wasn't a problem. Because if I have a tutor and he supported, at the beginning he was against it, of course, as I said. But after that, I think everybody needs his time to digest
and to absorb
the idea.
Because it's something, what you did was very unique. It was
as
pioneering and unique.
As I was told here by some lecturer, you have a guts, you need a very strong guts to do such a research and to ask the Holocaust survivors about laughter. Because my question was not, do you have humor in the Holocaust? I asked, what you all was laughing from? Do you laugh at the Holocaust? And what was the situation that you laughed? This is what I asked. And he said, you have a guts, you need a guts to ask such a question. He said, I don't have a guts to do this. Yes, you need a guts, but I was with very good connection with them. Before I came to their house, I was spoken with them on the phone. I asked them, where have you been? In which concentration? In which ghetto? And I read everything about this concentration camp, about the ghetto, so I came very
well prepared.
And sometimes they said, you know better than we do. I came very well prepared. And when they met me, they see a serious woman that not come to make fun from the Holocaust.
The opposite, actually.
The Holocaust, the opposite. I said, I want to strengthen your really, it's unbelievable, כוחות נפש. זה מרד רוחני. This is mentally rebellion.
Yeah.
This is what I said about the humor in the Holocaust. It's a mentally rebellion.
It's a mental rebellion. Amazing.
It's a mentally rebellion, that's all. That's what I want to show. That the Jew preserve their mental insanity by mentally rebellion, by the humor. And not everyone can do it. By the way, not even in the everyday life.
That's true.
Even in the everyday life, you don't need to be in the Holocaust. People are so serious, and humor making you it's much more easier. And not everybody using it.
It's like looking at a glass half full or half empty.
לגמרי. לגמרי. Absolutely.
Wow. And when your PhD came out and eventually you made it into a book, it was published in a book through Yad Vashem, your parents must have been very proud of you.
My father was dead already.
And your mother?
And my mother was at the late of her age. And she did not, I think she know vaguely what her daughter was doing, but not, she was at the late of her age. But I was sure that it will make more noise than it make. Well, I was interviewed, so I was thinking that it will make an argument here,
yeah.
But no. You got it.
And can I ask the reviews or the comments from people from different...
Everybody is astonished. It's unbelievable. Nobody knows about it. Until now, by the way. When I gave a lecture, I told it before, when I gave a lecture to youngsters, they said nobody was telling about it. Until now, nobody knows about humor. The last Yom HaShoah, there was a movie which is based on my PhD. So people say, no, there was no humor in the Holocaust. They don't believe it. But there was, and there was a lot.
And how, when your book was translated into English, and then also it's been translated into German, how's the reaction been from the German-speaking population?
By the way, I saw in the internet there is, in Spanish too,
wow.
There is a website in Spanish that it translated my PhD, my website, it translated to Spanish, and then in Spanish too. And there was until now, in Chinese too. There is in Chinese. It translated and it's written about it. I was very proud of it.
This gives you a tremendous sense of accomplishment.
Yes. It was in Chinese. When I was in China, I asked one guy to translate it, what is written there about it. And I think it's very unique. I really think it's very unique. Because you have to be a really strong person inside to laugh in stressful situations. If you can make it, you can suffer almost everything. You can suffer almost everything. This is what you can choose. As she said, I choose to laugh about it. And it's, yes, I got a very good email.
And it's also been in religious publications, in the Ami magazine, it's been mentioned.
Yes, last time, yes.
With, very positively as well.
It is.
Sure. So I just want to really thank you. So I'm just going to go. And I have a bit of an idea. So just really I want to thank you so very much. So, Chaya, this has been the greatest honor and privilege. It really has been a phenomenal experience. And before coming here and meeting you and reading that article in Ami, which was so beautifully written, I didn't really know this subject, and now
As I said, nobody
I've been
knows
exposed,
about it.
and I'm just astonished because it is something unbelievable. And your books, I mean, and I really want to thank you. I really would recommend everybody to. It's in Hebrew and English and even in German. It's just unbelievable. But my idea is you should have a part 2, a sequel, because you have so much to add on. It really is.
Yeah.
And I think people are thirsting for this because it's you have, as the pioneer, this is something which is so important.
Many people ask me about it, by the way. Yeah, maybe I will do it.
But I really want to thank you so very much. It's been the greatest honor and privilege.
I enjoy it very much.
Sure.
Really. Thank you very much.
Really, you are unique, and I must tell you, you are somebody that we can all strive to emulate. You know, and you can see you have such a wonderful smiling, and you're so joyful, and you know, and having been an educator, and you embody everything that we can all strive to emulate. Really.
Thank you very much. I enjoy it a lot. And by the way, I apologize for mistakes in English.
Your English is superb.
Oh, Papa.
And your writing is amazing, and you are incredible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.